Let's get this show on the road. I think we're still connected. Huh? Can you see me? I think you can. Okay. Cool. Shabang bang. So, you heard everything I said, though, right? I don't want to. I won't have to repeat myself. You guys heard me, though, right? I think you heard me. Okay, cool. So, what we're going to be doing today, we're going to be looking at Us30. Can now be good. Okay, cool. Dylan Savage in the building. Hello, my good man. And we got Mo in the comments there. So, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be back testing, taking off from last week. This is the Grubber Kick and the EQ Strat. So, just for those of you who were not here last week, just to recap, how this strategy works is looking at the EQ. The EQ is basically the middle point of yesterday's price action, taking the high and the low, the middle point there, that's the EQ. And the EQ is basically where the bulls and the bears have equal footing. It's like the neutral price point of the day. So we're going to be looking at the EQ, we're looking at Asia highs and Asia lows, and how price action has led up to that. So basically, you either want to trade towards the EQ or trade away from the EQ. That's what we're going to be looking at. So we're going to be back testing this, starting off at the beginning of October. I'm just trying to get some stats going about how well, A, the strat works, B, how well I implement the strat. I think we'll do 30th September, which is the Monday. And we're just going to do a couple days here together, and let's see how it goes. I have to give credit to Keegan Van Dijk. He's the one who taught me the strat. Taught it actually to the whole 2Gs community. So if you're not watching 2Gs live trading daily, you got to be up on that. You're missing out, fam. You're missing out. So basically, we're going to be trading this on the 15-minute timeline, or time frame rather. And what we're basically looking is what is happening at the Asia lows, Asia highs, and the pivots, with the idea that you always want to be trading towards the EQ or away from the EQ, and that's what we're going to be looking at. So why he calls it the Grubber Kick, I don't know, because it's a little cheeky shot there, but that's what it's called. Okay, so how we would do this one, again, looking at these major pivots as sort of like our key levels. So we can see here, if we go to the daily right quick, if we go to the daily timeline, we can see how price this day. Now, TradingView is a little bit weird with how it does its replay, so this might actually be, I don't know if price in the as we've rewinded, I'm not sure if price has done this little bottom wick yet, but let's just ignore that. If we look at what price did recently, we broke all-time highs there, shot up to the upside, and we have yet to retrace any of this all-time highs move or retest all-time highs there. So already I would be leaning towards a bearish sentiment on that. You can see how here, broke all-time highs, ranged, pulled away. Haven't really retested this all-time highs yet. Re-broke all-time highs again here. I would be expecting a little bit of a pullback before shoot up to the upside. So that's already going to skew the bias towards sells. So if we bring these back here, all-time highs is now sitting over there. So if we can record that, all-time highs there. I like it in red. I'm actually looking for a very similar all-time highs play on gold today is what I'm trying to do. We'll see if we get it or not today. So already I have a slight skew towards sells. On this day, we had the EQ just above. So top prize for price action would be if we came up, hit Asia highs, hit the EQ, and then wanted to sell from there would be top prize. We can see we broke Asia lows at 8 o'clock that morning, retested Asia lows. So what I would maybe look at, I think this is the weekly pivot here. That is the weekly pivot. So what you could try and do is, where's my little arrow tool there? One second. There. So what we could look at is how we now have a retest of Asia lows. We could see support coming at the weekly pivot, coming down towards the daily S1 and then retrace from there. Or, let me just delete this. Or, I need to figure out the shortcut for that. Or, what could happen now is we're going to break back into the Asia low, into the Asia range, find support there, come up to the EQ, and then target lower. So one of those is going to happen here. Now trying to figure out, based on the current price action, which one are we going to go for? Now, what I would do here, we found support at the 200 EMA. We look like we're rejecting the weekly pivot here. If this closes above, above Asia lows again, I would want to ride it up to the EQ. I think that would be the play I would gun for. Rejecting, is that going to close? One more candle. So what I would then do, based on the close of that candle back up, I would look to take this about 10 points above. So 10 points there, may or may not have been wicked into the trade based on that candle. And then now you can go for a fixed stop loss. So something conservative like a 35 pip stop, a 35 point stop. I like going for like, okay, where would this trade be completely invalidated if I was trying to take it? And then if it broke the low of this candle, the trade would be completely invalidated. And then I would aim for EQ. So that's just over a 1:1. Yeah, and then what we would try and do from here, because I have an overall bearish bias on the market today, on this day, I would try and then sell from the EQ maybe down to S1. So let's see how that would have played out on this day. Okay, we definitely would have been tapped in there. It is finding support at the weekly pivot. If it breaks and closes below that weekly pivot, this trade would be in a lot of trouble. Yeah, there we go. So, broken close below weekly pivot, so chalked there. What you would then do, potentially, is, okay, cool, we do have an overall bearish bias. We've broken past Asia lows, broken past this weekly pivot. What you could attempt to do then, look for a retest of the weekly pivot, stop loss just above the highs there, aiming for daily S1. Now, bearing in mind, we are not checking to see if there's any news this day, just because checking each and every day for news events is tedious. This is just before the New York Open, so news would have happened at like 2:30 or 4 if it's going to happen. But let's see how price would have. So there you have it. So looking for that retest, getting the retest at the weekly pivot, and it basically shot to TP in 16 minutes. So that would have hit TP there on the daily S1. So you see how the whole point of the strat is you're looking at the pivots, the Asia range, and the EQ to form a sort of bias here. So our bias was overall bearish. So if we had ignored any buys on that day, just looking for the sells with our bias, we would have avoided this loss. But I am a very greedy trader, so I'm always looking to capitalize on a little bit more. So that would have been a 3R trade there. Even with the massive 60-point stop loss, we'd have had a 3R trade there, and looks like New York Open would have done it for us. Right now, I don't have the 2-bullet rule on this. The 2-bullet rule meaning only taking 2 trades per day. Right now, because I'm still testing this strat out, I am looking at multiple entries. I have a degen account specifically designed for this strat. So what you could have done, what would have also been very valid, because you were expecting a test of this daily S1, you could have hit a buy stop on this S1, riding price back up to that EQ, which is untested, and Asia highs, which are untested. So I'm fairly certain that we're probably going to test this with later price action. Now, we've missed the move there. If I called it earlier, we would have put the limit there. But I don't want to skew my own back testing data with hindsight. Because now, am I thinking about this play now because I've seen it bounce off, or would I have thought about this play prior? So we're going to ignore that for now. But that is something that would have been valid with how this sort of strat works. So we'll see if it does make it all the way to Asia highs in the EQ. Going quite late into the session now, so I'm just going to fast forward to the next trading day. Okay, didn't quite get there anyway. So now we're going to go for about, I think 7 o'clock is when I start looking at the charts for this particular play. So we're going to fast forward to about then. There we go. Okay, so love to see this with the EQ. I don't know why. I prefer the sells on this strat. I don't know why. It just tickles my brain a little bit better than the buys on this strat. There's no particular rhyme or reason to that. I think it's just the way I'm wired. So if you see here, we sort of like broke that low, previous daily lows here, and we entered back into the range we were trading in yesterday. So if we look at the daily candle again, next daily candle, we seem to be, this looks like a massive little rejection candle, but we do also have a massive rejection candle of all-time highs there. So what I would look to see is if we can break below this bad boy here. Break below this, take this daily low. I would be expecting a test of previous all-time highs down there. Let's just rename that to previous all-time highs. Hey. Previous all-time highs. If we don't get that a body break of this wick, then we might target all-time highs again. Now, targeting all-time highs in a short period of time does happen. We saw we had formed all-time highs here around the Thursday, 29 August, and then by Monday 16th, like not even like 2 weeks later, we broke all-time highs again. So we could see a case where that. I think there was also another time where we broke it within like 2 days. I think we would have had all-time highs there. Oh, maybe that was on NAS I'm thinking about it. But there was a pair where I saw they broke all-time highs like 2 days apart. So if we don't get that going for all-time highs again, still having a bearish sort of outlook overall would be the bias. So looking at where we are now, so we have previous daily high up there, Asia highs, Asia lows, daily pivot, which would be a massive key level for price, and then we have the neutral point EQ right there below it. Daily S1, daily R1. So we do have the overall bearish bias. What we could look at is I would love for Asia highs to be taken on this, a break back into Asia highs, into the Asia range. I think if we take Asia highs and then break back in, I would try to take the early sells from there down towards either daily pivot or EQ. I think would be the play I'd be looking for. Otherwise, if we just break Asia lows, I would then try just daily pivot EQ. But if Asia highs remain intact, I would maybe try for a pullback play into Asia highs. I'm not sure if you can count this as a ranging Asia market. We still need to figure out what a range. Reason why I'm trying to figure that out is so if Asia ranges, London tends to make a move and New York will sort of retrace that move. It's typically how US30 behaves. If Asia trends, London sort of retraces that trend, and then we get a larger move during New York. So this may or may not be a trending London. It can be sometimes subjective. I haven't put any rules. Actually, let's maybe start establishing some trends here. This Asia range was about 80 points. Let's see, 80-point Asia range, how that would behave. So we're looking for either a break of Asia highs, break of Asia lows, is what we're looking for. Okay, massive break there. I don't like how far it broke in, because I would ideally want to catch that a continuation there. But now we're already at the daily pivot, already at EQ. Your vantage point is probably done. What you could look for is a retest of Asia lows, then continue down. But that might be a little bit of a trickier play. And that's exactly, you got the retest there, break back into Asia lows. We have the weekly pivot right there in its way. Yeah, I'm not liking how that's dishing out. Are you here for me? Oh, nice. What I would then look for here, I think. Well, we are overall bearish. What I would maybe look for is continuations past that EQ. A break of the EQ, hold, and then go. I think that's what the play I'd go for in this one. Let's say if we're gonna get that. Am I wrong? Am I right? It's a very rangy day. Ah, there was the play. I'm guessing... Yeah, so exactly as we discussed, it was a break out of Asia, sort of retest again, and then we got the move. And then... So I wasn't expecting that much volume at the 330 candle. We could have looked at taking buys off the S1. But again, if I didn't call it before it happened, I don't want to mess with my data prior to that. May not have worked out anyway. So now, day like this, moves, the setup just wasn't there. Which is fine. You're going to get some days where you have the right idea. You have the right idea on price action, that your setup just doesn't appear. And you have some days where setup is there and you take it. So like a day like this, again, the idea was to trade to EQ, trade maybe to daily S1, which we got. And then the idea from there was maybe daily S1 to Asia highs because they were untested. And you eventually got that. Would have been a weird one if you had entered right on the S1, depending on how big your stop was. How big would your stop have had to have been? Your stop would have had to at least have been 75 points, which is a massive stop. You might have maybe put the stop at previous daily lows. Me, I would have been a little bit greedier. My stop would have probably been smaller, and we would have gotten a reaction, maybe gone to break even, maybe not. Otherwise, taken out. A little rangy price action here. Retested the daily pivot. Came down to daily S1. Could have maybe taken a sell from the daily pivot down. Retested Asia highs, came down. So this would have been a more difficult day to have traded. So yeah, would have been one of those. Champ with the accumulation, manipulation, distribution. That is exactly right. So wouldn't have gotten in on that day. Let's fast forward to the next. So yeah, so AMD, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, works really well with this strat. Trying to figure out exactly like which moves are going to be sustained, which moves are likely to reverse on you. So looking to the next day, we have the EQ and Asia highs right on top of each other there, along with the daily pivot right up there. So whatever happens today is likely to be an explosive move. You see how we've been in this wide consolidation range, coming up to the high, coming back to the low, coming back to the high. It's a very wide range, in total being 430 points, but it is a back and forth little range here. Like price over, how many days was this? Monday till Wednesday hasn't really gone anywhere. It's been dancing in the same spot. So ranges like that can be difficult to trade. It looks really enticing because it's such a massive range. So you're like, oh, dude, there's so much money to be made in this range. But picking a direction and having it play out all the way can be really tricky in a range like that. Almost taking up a moment's spit there. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions, if this is making sense, if you have any suggestions. Like I said, we are backtesting the strat. I don't claim to be an expert at the strat yet. I only really started trading it maybe 2-3 weeks ago. I've seen Keegan trade it for a while, but I haven't mastered it myself. So we're learning all this shit together. I ain't one of those trading influencers who's like, oh, look at my strat, buy my course, 10,000 Rand a pop. That ain't me. That ain't me. In an unrelated note, I do have a different strat called the Turtle Wave. You can buy that for 10,000 Rand. Hit me up in the comment section now, but I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Although the Turtle Wave is fire, Chad. The Turtle Wave is fire. If you haven't watched that, go to the previous backtesting sessions. I think we did 5 sessions on that. I'm due for one more. I have added one more confluence to the Turtle Wave that has increased its strike rate by quite a bit. But we'll come back. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. Okay, so looking at this day, would still be overall bearish. Would I still be overall bearish? Something just happened. Chat, I think we're at all-time highs on... No, what's happening here? Oh shit! Need to exit the thingy. Okay, I will check that later. Little alert on gold there. I was expecting an all-time highs play on gold. Wait, let me check that on my phone quick. Let's see what's happening on gold there. I'll tell you one thing, Chad. All-time high plays are exciting because like it's really amazing to see like zero price action to the left, like just empty in this chart. But it is high stress for me. But so far, like every all-time highs play I've done, I haven't lost, which has been pretty cool. And today's one like set itself up beautifully. Yeah, going for all-time highs. There it is. Amaze balls. Okay, we'll look at that a little bit later, Chad. So yeah, so going back to what we were doing, what were we doing? Look in the daily candle here. So you can see each daily candle for 1, 2, 3 days we've been in this sort of range. I'm still really expecting it's either gonna really go out for this thing, out for all-time highs here, or we're gonna break below, retarget previous all-time highs. So that would be the play. Hopefully it gets out of this range sometime soon. Okay, let's see here. Let's say here. So what am I expecting then? Ideal would be break here, test Asia high, Asia low, sell down, daily S1. I think that would be ideal. See what I was saying about how I really like the sells? That's the same play I've been trying for the last 3 days of this thing. But let's see. Let's see what price action does. Went straight for the sell there. Did we close below? Close below there. Little wiki there. I definitely would have tried to catch that sort of here. Stop. There's already 80 points. This is a wide Asia range. How wide is this Asia range? 114 points. Jeez. How big are these candles? My gosh. Okay. Would have looked at probably a 50 point stop. Because we don't have any, oh no, maybe the top of this candle that initially broke, which is a 65 point stop to Asia lows. Okay, let's see how that would have played out. Ranging, wick out. Doesn't come back though. Wouldn't have tried anything different. Check how cocked that price action is. This is what 7:45 till 3:45 is when eventually it breaks that range. Okay, wait. Let's see what happened here. Okay, so broke above the EQ, daily pivot, and Asia highs. Closed above. What do we have above? That'll be a target. We have the daily R1, which should have been a target here. This is the weekly pivot as well. You could have maybe gone for a young little grub there. Price below that candle. Weekly pivot being TP1, first prize. Daily R1, you could have maybe targeted, but let's just keep it safe. See how that would have played out. Nuked. And price action this week was crazy. Okay, fast forward into next day. Let's do one more, Chad. We'll do one more together. I do want to look at this all-time high play on gold. Actually, maybe we could look at that together. Okay, let's see. Okay, that should be time 5:30. No, a little bit more. And that should be 7 there. Yeah. So, again, another day. Look at the daily candle again. So, it's just like a lot of accumulation here. A lot of accumulation here. So, eventually, there will be an explosive move one way or the other. Because all of these inside days really setting up for something big. Okay, let's have a look. See here. Okay, so Asia high. This is a real trending Asia market. I would expect a retrace of this somewhat. We've broken below Asia lows. I think we're going towards EQ. You could go, price could go from EQ down to daily S1 back. I think I would be more expecting it to do EQ back into the Asia lows, daily pivot, Asia high, and then maybe reverse from there. Coming from 2Gs for the first time watching live, just give you a follow on IG, wishing you prosperity in future. Damien, my man, I appreciate you, fam. Thank you kindly, thank you kindly. Hope you're enjoying this little sesh. We're learning together. We're learning together. So what I would do here, I think trade from EQ to Asia highs. Candles have been very volatile here. So we would have gone with like a 50-point stop. Roughly a 50-point stop. And let's see how that may have played out. Tap me in. Jazz eyes. Well, there goes that explosive move to the downside I was talking about earlier. So the right play would have been a continuation move there. Let's just get rid of these to make things easier to look at. So the right play would have been a continuation move there. So I need to brush up on when I'm expecting. Funny enough, this is me going against my bias because I've been saying this entire time that I am overall bearish. And I've been attempting to do the bearish move, the shorts the entire time. That would have been the correct time to do it. So I think going against what your overall bias here on the strat doesn't quite play out. Okay, let's see what the rest of the day would have done. I think a pullback at some point. What's this major level? We have the weekly S1 over there. Previous daily lows. Those weekly lows there. I think it would want to, because if we want the daily to shift bearish, we would need to take out the previous daily S1 and close below there is what we would need to see. So I would be expecting, if we come that close to it, with that much volatility at freaking 9:30 in the morning too. Okay, testing Asia lows. Are we going to go bounce back Asia lows or break back into the Asia range? If we break back into the Asia range, I'd want to take it to Asia highs. Now, there we go. That's exactly what I was saying was going to happen. break below the previous daily S low, close below, and that would have taken, yeah. Okay, that would have been a difficult week. Oh, a retest back of the EQ. That would have been a difficult week to trade, Chad. Very up and down, very volatile price action. Crazy, crazy. Okay. So what we can clearly see here is in ranging markets with very volatile price action, can be a little bit tricky trading the grubber. So that's something to note. Now, does that mean the grubber strat doesn't work? No, not necessarily. It does mean that it relies heavily on your discretion, heavily on what your bias for the day is, and certain conditions. A volatile up and down price action, maybe not the greatest one to trade with. Now, the reason why it is volatile like this is all-time highs sitting up here. All-time highs. And typically near all-time highs, price tends to be very volatile. So if we got like a massive pullback, go back to the daily. If we get a massive pullback to down, let's get rid of that, down here and start trading here for a while, price is likely to be a little bit less volatile than it is trading up here near all-time highs. So there we have it for US30. Let's just check what gold is doing, because I'm currently in this right now. Let me exit replay mode. What is happening? What is happening? So I'm expecting a nice little volatile kick here at all-time highs, currently in profit. Stop below that candle there. Although I could probably move stops to below this candle now. The candle that formed the break. Because if it reverses past this candle, this is likely to fail. Because we did have like a small little test here, which is what I was hoping would happen. A small little test here, try and take out all the early buyers. Take them out and then go for it. Actually, I just don't like the time that we're doing it. What is it, like 12:30 is when we're going for it. I would have preferred if this had happened closer to New York Open, where there's a little bit more volume. That would have been a little bit more comfortable. It would have been likely a little bit faster than it is now. This is likely to range a little bit, which is going to make things slightly uncomfortable. But having said that, every time we have broken all-time highs, when was the last all-time highs play before this one? Was this one? See, all-time highs here. 50-minute close just below. We had a retracement or pullback of 37 pips. What time does this happen? 4 a.m. in the morning, and then at 8 we shot up. And that's a previous trade. Another all-time highs play was this one. Yeah, see, this is what I'm with. It's this kind of play I'm worried about, where we break above. This one was like 6 o'clock in the evening. Have this massive retrace before actually going for the main move. So I'm hoping that is not what we're doing today. This was a previous all-time highs, eh? Oh, no. I am lying. What am I doing? Let me zoom out a little bit here. That was not it. And neither were you. All-time highs was over there. A little too zoomed in there. Okay, that's the one we're going for now. This one wicked it, came back. That all-time highs place. That one was clean. Shot up for a mile before retracing. That one also shot up by a mile before retracing. What time was these though? This one was closer to 3 when we started that. So yeah, I'm a little unhappy about what time we're doing it. But all-time highs, when we close nicely like we did here, they don't typically do badly. Because we went a good number of pips above. Because that little tested the wicked. That one came devilishly close. Now we've properly broken above. And I like the fact that it ranged here before taking it. So we'll see how that plays out. So that's what I'm looking at today. If this hits TP, boys, a nice little just under 2,000 point move, or what do we call that? 20 pip stop. Yeah, just over 20 pip stop. That if that hits TP, I am solid for the day. I am done. Likely with how long it's taking, it's probably going to take a while. But if that hits TP, I am done for the day. Like we will be very happy. We will be very happy. Anyway, that's going to be me done for the day, boys. Or at least done for this stream. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did enjoy this, if you want to start backtesting the grubber kick strat with me, go ahead and let your friends know. Tell them to pop into the channel. I'm going to have a long format video coming out really soon, so be on the lookout for that. And you can catch me on the 2G's channel, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, Traders Next Door. We're going to be talking about the latest in Forex news. So, hope you guys are having a fan-freaking-tastic day, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Ciao for now.
Why'd you pull the trigger? You won't find the light in the smoke and mirrors. You're screaming down